Yeah, Ed.
How you doing, guys?
All right, my trading warrior brother. How are things in Maui today? Another.
It's 2:30 a.m. So
Oh, okay. So it's dark out. Another day in paradise. Thanks for getting up so early to talk
no
to
worries.
us, Ed. I
I
appreciate that.
normally get up at 2:30 a.m. So I got up an hour earlier today.
I don't know how you do it. I get up at 4, and Rocky Balboa in the first Rocky movie showed him once he got the fight with Apollo and started to train. He got up at 4 and cracked about 8, 10 eggs into a blender. Anyway, Ed, you want to share your screen?
Yeah.
Remember how to do that? Green box. And
Yeah.
I want to acknowledge. Last time you were on, the market was correcting to the downside, and you didn't think it was going to be a major top. Your line in the sand was 3,700. I bet you're a little surprised that I remember that. And
No. You took notes. You took notes, Dale.
No, I don't. I'm an elephant. Anyway, so I think we got down to 37.40. Never took out your line in the sand before we rallied up to 4,000. You also mentioned on VIX that the term structure, or there was no backwardation. It was all the further out you went, the higher the VIX price was. Has that changed at all in VIX?
Last week, briefly, we went into backwardation.
Okay.
And I follow a VIX trader on Twitter who's pretty good, and when that happens, he takes off all his trades. So we did get a little bit of a warning last week that something's going on. It didn't stay in backwardation, but that's a sign for him. So he's a good trader. He avoids all the VIX blowups. He's usually short, and he stepped
short vol, usually short vol.
Yeah, usually short vol, and he stepped to the side because when that happens, that volatility traders who are usually short get blown up, and he's never been blown up. So he's out of trades. So last week we got a little warning sign. Right now, I was listening to what you guys were saying. Blake was saying that the S&P looks like it's doing a little triangle consolidation. I work closely with Peter Campbell, and
right.
And
good guy. I like Peter. Yeah.
He and I are looking for a retest of the lows, maybe a little lower. We're looking for, we might rally here today, tomorrow into OPEX, but we think the rally is going to come up to a lower high we look at sentiment, and we think it's going to get bearish excess energy, meaning like sentiment's going to get overheated for the amount of price movement, and then it'll resolve lower. And we're looking for 40.10 to 39.80 for a low. Now,
okay.
And then sometime today, tomorrow, next week, I'd like to see it rally a little bit more before I get short. I'm in cash at the moment, but the bottom line is we're unsure whether a top is in. We're getting closer to a major top. However, depending upon what we see when we make the new low, if we see a confirmed sentiment low, that's scary. If it's an unconfirmed sentiment low, then we're going to rally to a new high, and this thing continues. But so we're not saying the top is in, but we're more cautious than we were at 3,700, where we said we were going to a new high. We did. It's getting dicier here. If you look,
because there still are some bulls talking. A lot of people banding about the 4,400 level in the S&Ps. Does your work? Can your work see how that might be able to happen? 43, 4,400.
Yeah, it can do that, and that would be quite frankly, I'd rather see that as the top, because that would be some unconfirmed highs, credit sentiment rolling over, and that would be a perfect high. What scares us is the top may be in. We're not saying it is, but if that is true, that would be a very unprecedented top, because we don't have unconfirmed highs. So that we're not saying it can't happen, but this is the Fed monster that they created. So, new things can happen in these crazy times. So,
One of our attendees, Sansi, is asking, I don't know if you want to share it, who's the VIX trader on Twitter that you follow?
selling theta, at selling theta.
Selling beta, at selling beta.
Selling theta, TH.
Theta, okay. Okay, there you go, Sansi. All right, so you have someone else to confuse you. All right, Ed, so that's S&Ps. Anything else that you guys, do you guys track anything else besides S&Ps to, we've had a pretty good move in gold and the dollar. Does the dollar come into play? Because you know what I've noticed the last few days, which worries me, because I would like to, see one more new high, but normally a weaker dollar propels stock indexes higher. And we've had a couple days with the dollar being sharply lower, and it hasn't provided any jet fuel for stock indexes.
Well, if you look at the chart of the dollar, we put in a low in the beginning of the year in January. Then we had that nice rally. We went above the long-term trend line. Now we're back below it. It looks like it wants to do a double bottom.
Do a what?
The dollar looks like it wants to try for a double bottom to the January low.
What, 88.5?
Yeah.
Everyone's looking for that number. I don't know how many people have talked 88.5. I know you've been around, but when everyone's looking for one level, what I've noticed over the years, it either doesn't achieve it, and if it gets there, it's not long lasting. That point, usually goes through it like a hot knife through butter. But there's so much almost unanimous opinion by dollar traders that 88.5 is going to be the low. So it makes me skeptical.
Well, you know how these things work. Like you just said, we may not make a double bottom. Maybe the low was January. We're back testing, and then the equity markets, like you said, we've had a nice decline in the dollar, and equity markets are kind of struggling up here. We had crypto getting slaughtered recently. Crypto has traditionally led, and Blake was referring to this, has traditionally led the stock market lower. When crypto goes lower, then the stock follow with a lag of a week or two or 3-4 weeks, something like that. And that's why we're not saying that we're looking for a low. Our work suggests that we're going to have a low sometime few days and double test that low from last week. So this is a dangerous time. I mean, we went into backwardation briefly last week. Everyone's looking for a double bottom in the dollar. We may not get it. May just launch from here. We're looking for another low in equities. Crypto's falling apart. It's back testing resistance. There's a lot of cross currents, and then you have yields kind of ticking up. Yields are ticking back up. The Fed yesterday said some bizarro things. They may taper sooner, but we're going to do permanent repo, which that really means no taper. But when you talk about permanent repo, that says there's something wrong with the plumbing. I used to be a bond salesman back in the early 90s, and when the repo markets get squirrely, that means there's something going on in the plumbing of the credit markets, which, when the credit markets get hinky, every asset class starts to fall apart. So there's something.
Were you a bond salesman at Drexel with Michael Milken? Huh?
I was at HSBC. I was institutional bond.
Okay. I just wanted, I remember that era. Anyway, you do too, right? All right. So a dangerous time. Where are you parking money? Just cash right here?
I'm cash looking to short this market for a retest of the low. We want to see what that low looks like. If it's a confirmed low, that means we'll bounce and then fail again and go to a new low. If it's an unconfirmed low, then we'll make new highs. So I don't know what that looks like yet. And,
Yeah.
I try not to predict that. So, I trade what I see, not what I want.
Could we just go, where's your zone of interest to be a seller?
Let me take a quick look.
And is it possible that we don't retest that low and just, I know everything and anything can happen.
Yeah,
That
it's
we
possible.
don't retest that low and we just go from here?
Well, it's possible. If we make confirmed sentiment highs on our work, that means there'll be a slight pullback and then launch. So, right now I'm looking to short this, but if once I get off this call and if this thing makes a confirmed local high we have 3 different sentiment indicators: fast, intermediate, and medium term. We have bearish excess energy and intermediate term. And if we get a confirmed high on the fast Globex sentiment, then we'll get a pullback, and then we'll continue. But I don't know what that's going to look like until it unfolds. If we break over 4150 decisively, then this thing's going higher. If we there's a lot of emotional resistance between 4128 and 4140. So that's kind of the zone. So we're 4110. I'd love to see it get to 4130, struggle, get a lot of bearish excess energy, go sideways, and that's where I'd short it.
Okay.
So I'm doing nothing until we get a little higher. I may miss the short, but then I'd be looking for the long. But that's what I'm doing in the next day or two.
Okay. Any other thing you want to share with us today, Ed? I know it's kind of brief, but it's the market's kind of in an I don't know stage, IDK, but you're looking to short it around 4140, and you're wrong.
Between 4128 and 4140, somewhere in there. If it rejects 4128, I'll short that.
Okay.
But the other thing I'd like to talk about is Tesla, which has kind of been the poster child for this bubble.
Yeah.
And
okay.
what's interesting is Tesla made a low in March market and then rallied.
You have a Tesla chart you could show while we're talking about it?
Let me pull it over.
So is Tesla going to go the way of Enron?
Personally, that's what I think, but
Elon Musk made a high in crypto and doomed his company by going on Saturday Night Live.
Did you see? Can you see the Tesla chart?
No, you'll have to do a new share.
New share. All right. So stop this current share and do a new one?
Yeah, new share. Stop sharing and do a new share.
Screen share. All right. You see it now?
Not yet. Oh, it almost came up. There it is. Okay, got it.
So what's interesting about Tesla is that we made a low in March. We had a rally in the indices, the new highs. When we made the low in March, the index was around 3,700. Tesla did not go to a new high. It performed the S&P by about 10%. So right now it's back. It closed at its lowest level since March. And if it can decisively break 560, 540 and turn that into resistance, this thing, I think, has got a lot of air below it, and it could be done if that happens. Fundamentals really haven't mattered, but there's a lot of things going on with that stock, which I think is indicative of what's going on with the NDX, that is not good at the moment. I mean, China sales are rolling over. That was the whole story for the rally. You got Elon making all sorts of crazy comments about crypto, and the sentiment on, Elon was well loved by the crypto community, and now there's a lot of division on Elon because of what he's done recently with this about Bitcoin and Doge. So, this is an interesting. I think this is like the canary in the coal mine, and if this thing can break decisively, it may be an indicator that the top in the market may be in. But again, I don't know. It wants to put in a double bottom.
Yeah. It looks like it's forming a descending triangle where we might be able to get from in here, maybe one more rally to 640 to 80, and then we get a breakdown, 560. It would actually measure, it's about a $300 formation or more, 320. They'll take it down to 240 or something.
Well, someone pointed out that it's an inverse
head and shoulders?
Not head and shoulders.
Descending triangle.
Cup and handle.
Oh, reverse cup and handle. Okay, yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
This is at a very interesting point. It looks like it wants to rally today, but we'll see how it trades. But this is an interesting stock.
You want another canary in case this canary gets lonely in the cage by itself?
Sure. Well, give me another one.
Apple.
Oh, I've not looked at. I haven't been following.
All right.
that.
Well, anyway, pull it up if you can, and pull it up because we have not made a new high in Apple for quite a long time. And while Nasdaq was making new highs, it's like a failing rally. And Apple, deriving a lot of its iPhone sales from China too. So, I mean, Apple has been kind of a bellwether that hasn't participated with the overall market for a long time. So, I don't know if
let me share again.
take a look at that.
You got it?
Yeah. See what I mean?
Yep. So,
okay.
Look. Now, if we do put in an unconfirmed low here in the next couple of days and go for a new high, the Nasdaq won't make a new high; it'll double top, and that'll be the end. If we do go for one more, if we go for that 4,300, 4,400 area,
Okay.
that's what we're looking for. I'd hate to see it. Quite frankly, top is in. I don't like that because I'll miss a big move down because I like to see unconfirmed highs, and I'd rather short it higher. But we'll see what develops. I mean, the next couple of weeks are very dicey.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I wouldn't want to be a levered long with huge margin calls potentially happening in the next couple of weeks. That'd be very bad. So this is the time to be taking a lot of risk, in my opinion.
Okay. So at Dowd, the return of capital more important than the return on capital over the next several weeks. Live from Maui, looking to short rally, looking for a retest of the 40-10 level. Have I read you correctly, Ed?
Correct. And then once we get down there, we'll see what it looks like, and if it's a confirmed low, then the bounce will be a short. If it's an unconfirmed low, we're going to new highs, and that'll be a great long. So I won't be on your show, but that's what I'm looking for.
Well, you'll be back, but afterwards. So anyway, I really appreciate you getting up early and sharing your ideas with us. And, if you see anything happening VIX wise, why don't you DM me if you remember me? And
yeah, no, I will.
Maybe,
DM. I'll if I see the VIX curve starting to do hinky things, I'll let you know, because that's usually a good warning indicator that we're gonna get a wave of margin calls, and it's gonna be a fast market to the downside.
okay, so you could follow Ed on Twitter. It's Dowd Edward at DOWD Edward is his handle. He works with Peter Campbell. Ever hear Peter play piano?
Yes, he's fabulous.
Yeah. Do you play anything?
No, I'm tone deaf.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Well, it's fun partnering up with a musician, a rock star. So appreciate you and Peter's work and you coming in and getting up so early, Ed, to share these ideas with us. You're my trading warrior brother forever, bro.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna give out Peter's Twitter handle.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
He's got a private one where you can follow his market analysis, and let me get his public one. So it's
And someone said someone wasn't able to find that VIX guy. If you could
I'll do that.
type.
Peter
Yeah.
is at NCM_CT.
Yeah.
He does have a service that he's going to be closing down this week, actually. I mean, he'll keep it open for those, but after this week, no more new subscribers because he and I are going to be doing a new project together, potentially raising some capital for a new strategy. But so this is the last week to do his MCM CT market stream. But let me give you the selling theta guy. Okay, it's at selling_theta, THETA, at selling_theta, THETA.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you so much, Ed. I wish you, a lot of green.
Thank
You know what I mean? I'm talking cash, man. So good luck in the coming weeks. And thanks again for being with us, Ed. Appreciate you giving your time, especially so early in the day for you. I mean, at night. So thank you for being an owl, being nocturnal and hanging out with us today, bro. Appreciate it.
Have a good one.
All right, so that's a wrap, everyone. Remember, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. You could join the team in 20 minutes for the morning edge. So you could catch Blank doing some great scalps along with the rest of the team and Amanda and Paulie, everyone in there trying to help people and become part of that community to take advantage of it. So adios. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll wrap up the week. Good hunting. Thank you. Thank you, Ed.